No, it's all right. It's all right. I just want to point out that went out live, and I fucking love everything about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I literally just went live, and the first thing that everybody hears is Finn being a good father. What a fucking idiot. So hey, Britt. So I
What's up?
decided to say fuck it and go live, and just as we came on,
I heard. I had my headset on.
off cam.
I heard it. I was gonna come back and comment on it.
So everybody in chat may notice that there's no text on the broadcast today because for whatever reason, all of the text in my OBS is fucking backwards for some reason. Like everything's like mirrored. I can't figure out why. So everything just reads backwards. So I said, fuck it. We're not doing that
Sure
shit.
it's not just you?
What's that?
I said, are you sure it's not just you?
No, it's not just me. Like normally if I'm reading shit backwards, I'm usually just assume that I'm drunk. But that's not the case. This is my first drink of the night. So I would rather
It? That's what I want to know. What is your first drink?
My first drink of the night is a whiskey sour.
So not the shitty one that that fucking hotel made you.
No, God, that was the fucking worst. That was the worst. It sounds like you guys are coming in a little quiet. So I went ahead and turned everyone's mics up, and that should fix the problem. So anyway, please continue, Britt.
No, that was it. It was just you.
Yeah, that was the worst fucking whiskey sour I've ever had in my life. Like, the Marriott is generally a pretty good place to hang out during PAX East, but their cocktails suck shit. That was.
You were like,
terrible.
I'll come when I finish my drink, and then you're like, fuck this. It's not worth the money.
Yeah, that was really something else.
Yeah.
But anyway. Very, very simple show tonight. Very easy show. Finn's going to roll in. Finn's being a good fucking father somewhere. So Finn's going to roll in. Oh, there he is.
What's up? Well.
Look at this
The good father is here.
This guy trying to be a good dad over
good
here.
friend Cam and my better friend Britt. And also John is here.
Okay, yeah, there it is. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Super Deluxe Gamescast. It is Thursday, June 20th, and boy, oh boy, what a week. Very, very interesting week. We had one of, I think, the strongest...
John, you're quiet.
I think he sounds normal.
Yeah, it sounds normal here, but it's not streaming.
Chat
I've got my mic turned all the way up. Like, my mic is cranked. My shit is cranked all the way.
It's probably something in your OBS.
No, it's cranked all the way in OBS. Like all the way. It's fuck you, Finn. You fucking prick.
It's good to be back.
This? It's not good to have you back after that shit. We are going to talk all about this week's Direct. Cam has got some really interesting things to say about Dragon Quest III that he was able to get some hands-on time with, and I am so insanely jealous for him. But as always, we're going to kick it off. Before we get into all that stuff, we're going to kick it off with what we've been playing. And I will go ahead and go first. I have just literally been prepping for Dawn Trail next week. I am playing... I pre-ordered it, so I get in on early access on Friday. And I am so goddamn excited. Like, I'm taking the day off of work. I have nothing planned that entire weekend. I'm doing fucking nothing but playing the Dawn Trail expansion. Nothing.
You've also been playing Octopath.
What's that?
You've also been playing Octopath.
I have, but I mean, like, I finished it on Steam Deck the other day.
I stalk you on Steam.
Yeah, of course I did. And you know, like, I mean, I love Octopath Traveler 2, right? Like, I'd already beaten it before on Switch, but I decided to go back and replay it on Steam Deck. And I got to tell you, playing an HD 2, and this is another reason I'm so excited for Dragon Quest, playing an HD 2D game at 90 frames a second on a fucking big-ass OLED handheld is a life-altering experience. That shit really pops on the Steam Deck OLED. So I am really excited to see what Dragon Quest 3 is going to look like on that bad boy. But aside from that, just playing 14 and leveling up Blue Mage before the expansion hits next week, and we kick off our next 10-year story arc for Final Fantasy 14. I could not be fucking happier. What about you, Britt? Are you going to be there on Friday? Did you pre-order?
What day does it come out?
So
pre-ordered.
if you didn't pre-order, it comes out on July 2nd. But if you do pre-order it, it comes out next Friday. So you get 4 days of early access.
All right. Well, I get early access, which is great because somebody's coming into town, so I won't be able to play. I feel the pain now, John. I feel the pain.
Britt, I'm gonna be living it up in Eorzea, and you're just gonna be sitting there with family and friends, just all jealous that I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 and you're not.
The one time I don't want people around me when I want to play video games, like somebody's like, "I'm gonna come into town."
You should absolutely tell your family and friends to get fucked. Like
Jesus.
Well, it was so Finn will get a kick out of this. So
I will.
They were asking me about the Audubon gym. They're like, "Oh, is it fun?" And I was like, "You're not going to go to the fucking Audubon zoo." I was like, "Are you kidding me? You'll fucking die." You go.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? It's not. This is the heat stroke time of death.
Yes.
The zoo.
Mhm.
Oh, what a fool!
So I actually went running in this fucking weather today, and I'm wondering if I hadn't. I feel like I made a mistake.
Yes.
It was fucking rough, dude. I went running in 95-degree weather today with a heat index of 101 degrees, and I'm 43 years old, so
I'm like, go to the aquarium, go to the insectarium. Don't fucking go to the zoo. You're gonna die.
The
Yeah,
insectarium.
for real.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's
thing?
awesome. The insectarium is fucking dope, fam.
What the hell is the insectarium? That sounds like.
All right, I want you to use some context clues, John. If we're talking about the zoo and then you have aquariums, what possibly could an insectarium
Finn,
be?
I get it. I just don't know why the fuck anybody would want to go to that.
Because it's cool as shit, fam.
That's
No.
like Cam's worst
No.
fucking nightmare.
Yeah, no, thank you.
The-
I mean,
Oh,
technically,
yeah, I
arachnids
forgot.
aren't insects, but also, come on now.
If life-
who are we lying to ourselves? Why are we lying to ourselves?
If life was an RPG, that like the insectarium would be Cam's final fucking dungeon.
Oh, yeah.
that,
100%.
like, yeah, that's that. Yo, oh no,
That would be my character arc. That would be my character arc. It's like I gotta
Oh,
fucking
so
get over
good.
my fear.
Bugs don't even
Mine would
bother
be
me,
jumping
and
out of
I
a
don't want to go
plane.
to the fucking insectarium. Fuck that shit, dude.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Britt, what have you been playing?
Same shit. I've been doing WoW and Overwatch. I just don't have the brain power to start something new right now. So, yeah.
New season of Overwatch dropped today though, so that's
It
cool.
did. It did. I was playing a lot of Overwatch because I was helping one of my friends spam so he could get the Mercy skin.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's all I've been really doing. Just work's been shitty, so I just
You know what? You know what didn't drop today was the Overwatch 2 single player story.
Yep.
Guess you
Nobody
might be waiting
hates
a
it
bit
more
for
than-
that.
Yeah, no one hates it more than Overwatch players. So
I'll be honest, like I'm actually impressed that people are sticking. Like I'm impressed that you guys are sticking with Overwatch after that, because I would have like that to me would have been such a morale, just such a blow to my morale in regards to that game. I would have been like, you know what, like I'm out. Like so, I'm seriously like not knocking you guys for sticking around. I think that's actually pretty fucking admirable. How many people are still playing Overwatch 2?
I mean, I don't think we have I haven't seen like a number count because I don't think like BattleNet you can really look at that the same way that you can on Steam. And I still think the majority of people that play Overwatch 2 on PC, they play it on through BattleNet. So it's really kind of it's really kind of hard to say. But I still think that there's it's solid, but I am still in general worried about the future of Overwatch, like all the time.
You know what's a good thing though is I've noticed the community is a lot better. Blizzard has fucking cracked down on like talking shit because I've reported so many people. They're like, "Thank you, we're gonna do something about this," and like everybody's just like GG's in chat. It's so weird. There's always gonna be toxicity in any game, like any online game you play. But that was just, I don't know. The last few times I've been playing, I just get really nice people.
Hell yeah, Britt. GG. That shit is poggers.
GG's.
That shit is so. I don't even know what the fuck poggers means really, but it's poggers.
Mm.
But that's because I don't play.
John,
play.
that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, whatever, man. Like I don't fucking pay attention to this shit, dude. I don't pay like.
John,
I play JRPGs and horror games. I don't know what this shit means.
John, I need you to just immerse yourself in just some TikTok brain rot, like
I can't do that.
Slang. I need you to do this for me. I want to show you some videos and just get your live reactions to them.
I absolutely cannot do that.
We should do that first. That's a great stream idea. Is get
Thank
the
you.
top TikToks going.
I have, my feed is cursed, and there's some stuff I've saved specifically to eventually ruin you. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm really.
I can just
too,
picture
Finn.
you just
Really?
looking at this, going, "How? Why? Dear God, I don't know." Cam gets it.
Really excited for that, Finn. So, Dorian Gamer in chat, I have never had any toxicity in Final Fantasy XIV, nor are you likely to, because that is one of the most wholesome fucking communities.
I have. I was tanking a new time, and they vote kicked me out.
I apologize, okay?
Oh
it was
my
one
God.
time.
I quit. Like, I literally quit the game after I got fucking kicked out because I wasn't tanking well.
Britt, I apologize.
So I guess
shouldn't
you
have kicked
tanked
out.
the role.
Shut the fuck up, Finn. Fuck you. God damn it.
Like, most of the community is, like, incredibly nice.
Most of them are, yeah. Most of
Yeah.
them are. Yeah, I mean, but just like in any gaming community, you get those shitheads who are like, I'm not here to carry anyone. Like it's
okay,
like,
bud.
Yeah, it's like
okay,
like,
guy.
But it says practice on Party Finder, man. I don't know what to tell you. but yeah. So, we'll move on to we'll move on to Finn. What's that, Finn? You're not playing anything? Okay, Cam,
Yep.
go right ahead.
Cam, what you got, buddy?
No, Finn, go ahead, Finn.
Yeah. Okay, so I've returned to Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth because I had put it on pause for 7 Rebirth.
I'm really surprised.
So
okay, never mind. 7 Rebirth. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, like here's the thing. Here's the reason why. Normally I don't drop RPGs because when I do, it's really hard to get back into them.
It really is.
But I was far less worried about story spoilers of Infinite Wealth than I was 7 Rebirth.
Yeah.
So 7 Rebirth dropped and that became the focus. But I'm back on my bullshit with Infinite Wealth. I'm about 70 hours in, not much longer to go. Also, I just finished Penny's Big Breakaway.
Who?
It's an indie game on the Switch. It's getting
Sonic
physical
Mania
edition.
Penny, why did she break away? What did she break
I'll
away
be
from?
right
See,
back.
it's a pun because the game's about her getting her big break, but then it involves being a run away from the feds, so it becomes a breakaway.
So she's
And
committing
it
crime.
involves a sentient yo-yo. And yeah, like Cam said, it's by the makers of Sonic Mania. Level design on point, controls are tight,
Okay,
very
well, then you got my
vibrant,
attention.
colorful world. It's coming to other platforms, I believe, soon, and it's just got announced the limited run will be doing a physical edition. So anyway, that's been really good.
I do want to say, because like when that game came out, I feel like a lot of people I know that played it were like pretty disappointed with it. So I'm more curious now that because you seem to really like it.
Well, here's the thing. Once I got over the fact that I'm not going to be chaining together wild ass combos and pulling off like the speedrunner like perfect levels, I just had fun with it. I worried less about time attacks and just explore the world. And there's so many things in each level to collect and find that it's very reminiscent of like N64 era 3D platformers in that regard, in that the levels are just stocked with secrets to find. And so you can be as involved in the levels as you want, or you can just burn through the stages and just enjoy the platforming. Like when you chain stuff together and it all flows, Like you feel like a badass. Like you can
I feel like a badass
jump
every
on
day.
your yo-yo, like Sonic style spin dash and like dash around hills and stuff. And you can air swing yourself and do a dash, and like everything just chains together really nicely. I'm just really bad at it. But when I'm not bad at it, it's really fucking cool.
Finn.
And the boss battles so far have been very inventive, and it's just a charming game. I can see why some people, coming off of Sonic Mania might have expected different, but I think for this being their first stab at their own IP and doing their own thing, like I think it's been very enjoyable, especially for the price point.
Finn,
It's a very
Okay.
reasonably priced game.
do you want to jump on that yo-yo?
I'm gonna go with no because the way you suggested it makes me question it.
I just. hey,
So besides that and Yakuza, I'm also playing on the old Steam Deck. I'm playing
Wait, you said you're playing Yakuza on Steam Deck?
no, that's on PS5.
Okay.
Sorry. No, I'm playing Tales of Kenzura Zao. It's the Metroidvania done by the that one gentleman. Like I don't think he's a single dev, but anyway,
Single
I
dad?
love
He's
me
a
a
single dad?
single dev.
Oh, single dev. Okay, you got to remember, I'm half.
I
deaf in
don't
my-
I
I'm half
don't
deaf.
think he's a single dev. Anyway, it's really good. So far I've only started dabbling in it, but it's a very I'm a whore for a good, well-made Metroidvania, and this is right up there.
Finn,
So
don't
that's
call
pre-
yourself that. I would never
Why not?
call you that.
Yes, you would. And that's pretty much it, unless you count the almost 10 years of Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle that I am still crushing along. Just got the brand new LR Ginyu Force. So, things are looking up
Yeah, I've
for
been going after
me.
I've been going after the spaghetti Power Force or whatever it's called for quite some time now.
Look at that
So
dope mother
glad that
trucker.
you finally.
Look at him. Oh my god, look
I
how
know.
cool
Oh
they
my
are.
god, dude, I am rock hard right now. Like
I
that
know you
is
are.
just-
Anyway, that's what I've been playing. I've got my next round of games on the docket. So I just want to beat Yakuza, and then I'll be good.
I have heard very
How are
good things about
you?
Infinite Wealth. No, Cam, go ahead.
I was gonna ask like how do you feel about Infinite Wealth? Because like
That's what I was gonna
overall for me, I think it's one of the better Yakuza games.
Mhm.
Now that I've played all of them, but there's a lot of like really key things about that game that I was left very disappointed in, or I think that they like failed in like really high regard. Without getting into exact spoilers, because I know that people are still, it's still relatively
Fair.
recent enough that I don't want to say specifics, but like overall, I kind of like it's one of those games where, yeah, this is a good game, but I can't help but talk about the things I really didn't like about it, if that makes sense.
What you and I, let's have a talk outside of this so we don't cross any spoilers, because I'm curious about what you might be talking about.
Mhm.
So yeah, good times.
Okay.
I do want to bring up one more thing actually that I forgot that I have been playing. Square Enix was gracious enough to give us a few codes for Kingdom Hearts on Steam.
Same. Yeah.
So thank you, Square. They provided codes for like the entire collection. So Derek is going to stream some of those. Derek, who's famously not a Kingdom Hearts fan. So
I know it's basically a punishment.
I know it's going to be so much fun. However,
Derek
am a-
is basically the anti-Cam.
I am a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, having played every single Kingdom Hearts game multiple times, and I can happily report that, unsurprisingly, given that most of these games are either PlayStation 2 or 3DS or PSP games, that they all look and run beautifully on the Steam Deck.
Yep.
They look glorious on this. In fact, I'm actually very encouraged by how, and Cam, I'm sure you noticed this. Square really promoted the shit out of these ports on Steam Deck. Like,
Yeah.
they went heavy on the marketing. Finn, I'm sure you noticed it too.
Oh yeah.
They went, and that tells me, that is demonstrative to me of Square Enix's brand new commitment to multi-platform releases, which is something that has really been a fucking thorn in everyone's. I was one of the first ones to say, Final Fantasy 16 should be on everything. Final Fantasy 7 Remake should be on everything. I don't fucking understand why they're not. And I am so happy that Square is moving past that antiquated attitude of, well, we just got to release these on PlayStation and maybe on PC a year later. It's one of the reasons that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth underperformed, because you could only get it on PC and Final Fantasy and PlayStation 5. So I am so happy that they seem committed to this path.
Well, I mean, look at it this way. Visions, you can see it in a lot of their stuff. Visions of Mana is coming to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Quest 3 is coming to everything.
Day and date. Yep.
So,
fucking,
they're staying true to it.
Fucking yeah.
Is Visions of Mana coming to Switch?
No.
Or you, okay, so
I'm just talking about, look, for when I talk about multi-platform for Square, it's traditionally like Xbox is the one that's been left out in the cold.
It's like a console exclusive. It's a console exclusive, and then it comes to PC and like maybe
exactly. It's usually a console exclusive to either Switch or PlayStation, or both. And then it comes to Steam, and then 5 years later, it might come to Game Pass as like a pity drop. And it looks like those days are finally over for Xbox fans.
God damn it, Finn! I missed your fucking face. I'm so glad you're here. I love you.
Oh, thank
I just
you.
had to say it.
Okay, I'll take it.
So having played Visions of Mana, Finn has played Visions of Mana as well. We were very graciously invited by Square to participate in their closed demo this past PAX East. I would not want to play this on a Switch, because I don't think the Switch at its current power level will be able to do it anywhere near the justice it deserves.
So do you think the fact that it hasn't been announced for Switch means it's coming for not Switch 2?
Yes, it's coming for Switch 2, absolutely. Like,
yeah, that's my take.
Absolutely get a port. That being said, Finn, you've played it. I mean, would you want to play this at 30 frames a second on a
No,
on a
of course not.
Yeah,
no, I mean it's built for a Steam Deck, or it's built for my PlayStation 5 and / Portal. Oh, can I just point out something that that the firmware update for the PlayStation Portal allows you to sign into public Wi-Fi spots and stuff.
I heard about this. Yeah.
So now I can play it at hotels when I travel, because before I just take it when I travel to like family or other places where I'll have a Wi-Fi. Because it's been like one of the perfect travel things for me, but I travel so much for work that hotels, I can't use it, and now I can, and oh my god, I'm gonna be burning through so many more games.
Honestly, dude, like I don't even fuck with my PlayStation Port. Now that I got a Steam Deck OLED, man, like I'm Steam converted. Like
you're Steam pilled.
I'm Steam pilled. I've taken the Steam pill, dude. Like I am all in. I'm literally rebuying games on Steam because this is my preferred delivery method for those games now.
No, that makes sense. Like, because we were talking about Kingdom Hearts, like, there's no denying that, as someone who like doesn't really like to play on PC, there's no denying that the Steam versions of Kingdom Hearts, Steam Deck aside, are the definitive versions to play those games.
They're real good.
They updated the visuals compared to like the console releases, so it's even more remastered than it was in the past, and like 120 frame unlocked frame rate, like it's just there's no denying it.
It's gonna be so good. I mean, I haven't gotten an OLED Steam Deck despite John yelling at me to do so, because Steam announced that they're working on like the next version, and it's not going to come out for another year, but I'm like, I can't justify an OLED just to turn around and
that's just not coming out till 2026. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and that's fine. I can't do it. I'm going to be buying the next Switch. You know, like I can't just be getting an upgrade to a Steam Deck that I had just bought.
I'll buy you a Steam Deck OLED if I have to, motherfucker.
Yeah,
you guys heard it. Y'all heard it.
Cam's like, hey, wait.
Y'all heard it.
No, I'm with Finn, because like for me, there's very few games that are specifically on PC that I like would need to play, that I have to play on PC. Like the Trails in the Sky games, right, are only on PC, and like next time I play the Kingdom Hearts, I'm going to want to play them on Steam, because again, like it's the definitive way to play those games now. Yep, and there are some one-off games that are only on Steam. They're not on consoles anywhere. But normally I'm just like, I would rather have a Switch where I can like buy other third-party things that I want for Switch, as well as just, obviously having access to Nintendo's first-party stuff.
That's why I'm really interested in the Switch too.
Yeah, then having the Steam Deck where I'm really only buying it for a small number of games, and then like I would still buy a Switch for the Nintendo first party anyway. So I just feel like it just makes more sense logically in my head to just like I don't need a Steam Deck. Like I can just play those games on the PC on like, obviously there's a benefit to having it in handheld form, but like I just don't need that. And I would just rather have it on Switch where I can have a physical copy, all these things like so that those things that matter to me personally. But like I totally get the appeal of the Steam Deck, don't get me wrong.
This is gonna sound weird, but one of the thing this is gonna sound, I'm just gonna preface it. This is gonna sound lame as shit.
We get it.
One of the things that really sold me on the Steam Deck was being able to just not even just mod the shit out of a game, but just slightly tweak things that are don't quite like. A really good example of the Pixel remasters on Switch, right? Like I begged for these for 2 years and we finally got them. And they did fix that font, which I thought was tiny and hard to read and didn't fit the aesthetic of the games at all, right? That being said, that pixel font that they added was still tiny and hard to read. And on the Steam Deck, it took me 10 seconds to just throw a quick font mod in there and give everything a big bold pixel font that makes it easy for me to read. And I was like, like I can't do any of these things on a Switch or a PS5, right? So like,
Sure.
why would I not kind of migrate over to Steam Deck or Steam in general, right? Like if I can just, because I'm not a big mod guy. Like I like to.
I'm so intimidated by even the concept of mods. They always involve so much work that I can never do.
So
I'm terrible
that's what
at
I
them.
thought too.
Every time I try and do it, I fuck up.
That's what I thought too. But I have found that most of the mods that I have seen have been relatively easy to implement. But most of the mods that I've done are very, very minuscule, just slight little touch ups, right? Like I want to. This is going to sound corny, but I want to honor the developer's original vision for the game, which is why I'm not big into mods. But if I could just tweak things a little bit and make fonts, for example, a little more readable or a little bolder, then yeah, Steam is the delivery system for me. So does that make sense at all? Or
It does. We get it. I mean, it's I'm not gonna lie. Like now, the Steam Deck is so good and so convenient that if a game is on Switch and Steam, I usually will lean towards getting the Steam version now.
Yeah.
But I still haven't fully abandoned my PlayStation and my Switch in favor of Steam Deck. That might change when John buys me my OLED, but for now, not yet.
So, one, that was a joke. I'm not actually buying you an OLED, and two,
nope, you didn't say that.
I'm not
you said
actually.
You'd buy it.
So, like, I'm not dude. Like, Nintendo is up there with Square, and Capcom is my favorite developer, right? So, like, I'm not abandoning my Switch. Eventually, maybe down the road, I may not feel a need for my PlayStation anymore, simply because like most of these games are coming to Steam anyway. Or most of the first party games that I really care about. But that's a conversation for another day. Britt's back, and let's jump into the Nintendo.
You didn't have to
Direct.
wait for me.
Well, no, Britt, we were bullshitting anyway.
Okay.
But let's go. Finn just texted me, John, buy me a Steam Deck OLED. No,
You got to respect the grind, you know.
I mean, he's yeah. Finn, we'll talk.
Look at that face. How could you say no?
Finn, we'll talk offline about what you got to do to get a Steam Deck OLED out of me.
Oh,
You're right. I will say that your taste in games is good.
I'm not. I was gonna make a joke about taste, but I'm not gonna go there. So let's go ahead and talk about the Nintendo Direct, which I thought was one of the strongest Nintendo Directs that we have seen in
Heck yeah.
maybe a couple of years, actually. Like, I feel like there was really something for everybody here, especially, as Cam said before we went live, if you are a fan of JRPGs, because there was a lot to celebrate at this Direct.
Yup.
And we are going to start from the beginning. The first game we saw from the Nintendo Direct, and I can't wait to get to certain parts of this conversation because I know Cam has played one of the games on this list, and I really want to talk about it. But we're going to start in order. I've got to be patient. We're going to start in order. Mario and Luigi Brothership. I can't say that
I'm
fucking
so
name.
excited.
I'm so excited.
So fucking excited.
Everyone thinks that title is so fucking silly, like
I love it.
Brothership.
A brothership. I love it.
Yeah.
I saw someone did a fan art online, and it was Mario and Luigi dressed as Ed and Al, and it was called Mario and Luigi Brotherhood, and it made my day.
Oh.
I think this looks delightful. I wasn't completely sold on the cell shaded visuals at the beginning of the trailer, but I eventually got won over. By the way, I want to point out we got a real journalist named Grant Stoner in chat, like a real no shit journalist, like.
Unlike John.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. Yeah, like everybody on Twitter seems to think I'm a journalist because I wrote one article for IGN in 2019 that people can't stop fucking thinking about.
Fucking journalist.
But but hey, Grant. But yeah, so Mario and Luigi Brothership. The name is so adorable. I can't not chuckle whenever I.
Haven't they always had pun names? That's what I love about them.
So yeah, but Brothership takes it to another level, man.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So very obviously a dyed-in-the-wool Mario and Luigi RPG, but this one looks like it is quasi 3D, quasi like maybe like 2.5D. Like I don't really know what to call it. I'll be totally honest with you. My history with the Mario and Luigi games is kind of spotty. I love Superstar Saga. Love
Yes.
Superstar Saga.
Yes.
Not the biggest fan of like I thought that Bowser's Inside Story was fine.
Partners in Time was great.
Oh, see, Partners in Time was one of the most disappointing sequels for me I've ever played. Like,
quite careful.
Really? I loved it.
Yeah. Did you play Superstar Saga?
Yeah. I've been playing them since they first dropped.
Because I played Superstar Saga like back on the Wii U Virtual Console, and I was just like, that game is almost perfectly paced. Like outside of like having to find the Yoshis around the map at like I don't know, probably like the 60% mark of that game. That game was like perfectly paced. Like the time flew by in a way that like I don't think a lot of JRPGs do.
See, for me, Paper Jam was the biggest letdown.
Cam, you gotta play Superstar Saga on the fucking analog pocket right here, buddy. Like, cause holy shit, do games like that pop on this motherfucker?
Yeah, I need to. And so I hopped into Partners in Time. I have all of them at this point, but I've only played the first two, and I plan to play the rest. But I played Partners in Time, and I was really excited because it's like, oh, it's like the babies and things like that. And I was just like, I felt like a lot of the charisma, the style, the flair that Superstar Saga had across, like almost across the board, just wasn't there in Partners in Time.
I would totally agree with that. Yeah.
And so that was upsetting, but I am excited to try out Bowser's Inside Story because I know that people generally consider that to be the best one alongside Superstar Saga. Like it's kind of like a coin flip, but I really want to play
I'd be
all
okay
of
with
them.
that.
And then because like normally how I've handled Nintendo when they release new first party games, if it's a franchise that I haven't played before or I'm not all the way caught up on, I'm like, cool, this is the excuse for me to now prioritize doing this. So like I think I'm gonna try to play through Bowser's Inside Story, Dream Team, and Paper Jam before Brothership comes out, or at least before I play it this year.
Brothership comes out when this year?
I think it's September or October.
Is it?
It's October.
I was gonna say like because
no,
there's another big
November 7th. November 7th.
Is it November 7th? I could have sworn it was. Oh yeah, November 7th. There it is.
Okay, all
I
right.
could have sworn it was October 7th.
Later than I thought it was. I thought it was October too. Yeah, I don't think anybody saw this coming. Like
no.
the Mario and Luigi series kind of seemed dead.
Yeah.
So
I mean, when Alpha Dream got shut down, everyone just assumed that.
Oh yeah, well that's that. So who's the developer? We don't know who's actually developing this.
Yeah, we don't know for certain, but the murmurs have been it's Monolith Soft.
Really?
Yeah, that is Monolith Soft primarily.
Oh,
and because like again, this is all murmurs, like no like real credible source here, just like again murmurs on social media that like when Alpha Dream went under, Monolith picked up a number of devs from that team, and I know that some other devs from that team were taken to other teams as well, but like Monolith was kind of like the big one.
Holy shit,
And
dude,
so
that's
I
cool.
think, yeah. And if we really think about it, like Monolith has been pretty good about releasing something every 2 years throughout this generation, and they this would be the year that they would have released something. So a lot of people thought it would be time for the Xenoblade export, but
I was expecting you to see that here, and I was surprised
but
that it was.
yeah. So I'm wondering if like this is supposed to kind of fill that gap until whatever next thing Monolith Soft is working on. So because they work on several things. So yeah, but
All right, yeah,
we don't
no,
know for certain.
I thought brothership. I keep wanting to say brotherhood. Does anybody else keep wanting to say brotherhood? But
Yes.
it's yeah. I can't fucking get over it.
That'd be really funny if they did that, though.
Right. It's really fucking with me. But yeah, no, I think this looks delightful. I think it looks like a cool evolution of the Mario and Luigi kind of gameplay loop, while at the same time remaining familiar to its roots. Because I mean, at their core, these are really simple RPGs. That usually have far more interesting mechanics outside of combat than they do inside. So, and that's not to say that the combat system of these games is bad. I just generally think that these games.
I gotta refresh myself.
I really think that these games, kind of live or die on their charm and their innovative gameplay outside of traditional turn-based combat, rather than in it. If that makes any sense. But speaking of turn-based combat, let's switch gears and let's talk about another game that was very much anticipated, heavily rumored for a long time. And no, I'm not talking about Dragon Quest yet. I'm talking about motherfucking Fantasian finally leaving the shackles of the Apple Arcade and making its way.
I was
going to
say
Look.
Donkey Kong.
Look, just let me gush, because as someone that has got
played
Apple
Fantasia,
Arcade
yeah.
just to play it, I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this game to get the love and the audience it has deserved for years. Like, I get it. It was always going to be on launch as a mobile title, because I mean, people tend to forget because it's been so long since one of his games was in the spotlight. But after Lost Odyssey dropped, Sakaguchi's just done nothing but make mobile titles like Terror
Yeah.
Battle 1, 2. He made a surfing
really,
one,
really upsetting.
and but like the thing is, his games are really good. They've just been built around mobile. But then with Apple Arcade, he built this incredible RPG, and all of the environments are done as dioramas that he built
they're
with
so
his
beautiful,
team.
dude.
They're so
beautiful.
cool. And so I've just been so excited. The second I saw it and I recognized it, I was losing my mind. Like, and I'm sure it's going to be more than just a straight port of the Apple. Like, I bet there's going to be new content and new stuff added in. But if you have not played Fantasian, which is the bulk of everybody, I cannot wait for you to get your chance to play this, because outside of Dragon Quest 3 HD, like, this is the Square title
very
I'm most
excited.
hyped for.
Well,
like,
that's
it
the
is
thing,
so
Finn.
good.
So that's important.
Not even a
to point
Square,
out.
it's Square published, but
It's a
Mistwalker is dope.
here's the thing.
Oh, okay.
It's a
That's cool.
So Britt, that's the thing, right? Like Sakaguchi's Mistwalker Studio developed it, but he's partnering with Square to publish it.
Publish it.
So this is a Square published game. So dude, the Gooch has come home.
Yep.
and
All right, let's get him out of here.
Sakaguchi is back at Square.
Also, I do want to
sort
correct
of.
myself. I am dumb. Lost Odyssey was not the last console game. He did make the last story for the Wii,
Which was a
Yes.
good game. That was a good
I wa-
game. Like,
I want that to be ported. Like,
Me
that's
too,
what I.
dude.
I'm shocked it has not been yet.
me too.
Like,
Finn.
Yeah.
why?
that-
Although, let's be real. After Fantasian, and he's already like partnered up with Square to like re-release an existing game, like maybe we will get
Britt,
some love for the Mistwalker.
Britt, how much of Fantasian have you seen?
I don't think anything, because I was working. I was like neck deep in shit.
Do me, do me a
So
favor,
I
Britt.
didn't.
Look up Fantasian.
No, okay, so that's what I was gonna ask. I just went and looked at the list again to refresh myself because goldfish brain, and I saw it, but it said mobile game, and I was like, next.
No.
And then Finn kept talking about it, and I was like, all right, let me find this, and I was like, oh, it's the mobile game.
And it,
Oh, it's coming. So, is it a gotcha game?
no,
No.
not at all. It's a
No,
straight
your
turn-based.
Terra Battle 1 and 2 were gotcha games with like a strategy RPG gameplay loop.
Brit, look up
This is
photos
just
of
a
it right now.
legit just RPG without microtransactions and stuff. It was really fucking good. Like this was the game that I dropped $100 for the backbone controller for my phone so I could play it properly. Like
Wow.
that's how good Fantasia was. Like Fantasia was so good. I invested in an ecosystem for my mobile phone so that I could better play it the way it deserved. Like
Brit,
it's just fucking good.
look up some photos of Fantasian as we're live here, because the diorama backgrounds in this game, they're all handmade. Every one of them, every background in this game is handmade.
Every background is a diorama that he
and
made with
it
his
is
team. Like it's so
fucking
cool.
incredibly gorgeous. Like holy shit. Like the only reason I have not played this is because
Who is this Vincent Valentine guy looking as?
that's apparently the bad guy. That does look, that's Vam.
Like,
that does look
immediately
like
I
fucking
was
Vincent
like, he
Valentine.
looks like Vincent.
That is one Vincent looking motherfucker. But
That's just my dumb brain.
Finn, apparently Fantasia is also very difficult too, right? Like it's a
It
tough
is not
game.
well, and I think part of that was because it being on a mobile game, it really wanted to incentivize you to like play longer. So I would imagine the difficulty gets tweaked, and we'll probably get some more quality of life stuff to keep it up to like console standards. Also, I'm sharing in chat. I mean, in our chat, just an image from one of the game. Like you can see the backgrounds, Brit. Like
Oh,
that's all
wow.
handmade.
Yeah, they're
like they
gorgeous.
build everything. So like
That's
it's like a
insane.
true evolution of like the PS1 pre-rendered scenes. These are all just pre-ass built diorama villages and stuff that they built and then put into the game. Like it's freaking the coolest thing. I don't know.
They're
That's really
absolutely
cool.
gorgeous.
I'm gonna put the link in chat too, just cause. Oh, that's the wrong link.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Fine, leave
this
it.
is something that had been rumored for quite a bit. That ever since I think it was a while back actually, like a Steam, like Fantasian files popped up in Steam's database. So it was a matter of time. But I do think that the Direct was the right place to announce this. I think a game like this is
the most
well
eyes
suited.
on it.
Yeah, the game like this is well suited for a Nintendo Direct. And I could not be happier that I'm finally going to get to play this on something that is not my mobile phone, because I notoriously despise mobile gaming.
It's true. I tried to get you. If there was any game that was going to change your mind, it was this, and you refused.
I wouldn't do it. But I'm sure as fuck going to be in on day one for Fantasian on consoles and PC. So very, very happy about that. Donkey Kong Country. What is it? Which Donkey Kong
Returns.
is getting
HD.
Donkey Kong Country
Donkey
Returns.
Kong Country Returns HD. Okay, like this isn't the Donkey Kong game that I think we were all hoping for.
You know what I think this is? I think it's like a test into the waters to see how good Donkey Kong does,
Yep.
and then
Yeah,
to
I
kind of
can
go
see
from
that.
there.
Because I mean, Nintendo does this a lot. Well, they'll
Mhm.
re-release an old game and port it, and then
the games
miraculously, a year later, we get a new entry.
I
Mhm.
won't lie.
And it will be in that style.
Yes.
I hope so.
So I won't lie. The big rumor was that a 3DS game, just like a 3DS game, was getting remastered and brought to the Switch. And I was really hoping, guys, for Planet Robobot, which is the best fucking
Kirby game. Yes.
And if you haven't played Planet Robobot, Brit and Cam, fucking fix that immediately, because Planet Robobot is one of the best uses of the 3DS's 3D technology, and it's also just a great, like, Kirby's driving
That
a mech.
name.
Planet Robobot. Like it's a great fucking game. I was really hoping to see that. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Okay, like I'll take it. Like I still think, like, I played it on 3DS. I think Tropical Freeze is still the much better game. That's just me. Britt, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say I have a special place in my heart for Donkey Kong, because that was something that my brother and I played together a lot, and we'd spend hours, especially doing the fucking rail cart scenes that are the worst.
Yeah.
So this like brought back nostalgia for me. I was watching it and I was like, I want to play Donkey Kong again.
I was really hoping for that long rumored 3D Donkey Kong. I think we've been hearing about rumored for, it seems like a fucking decade now. Yeah.
You don't want
Cam was-
Donkey Konga instead?
I mean, look, unironically,
He wants to slap that drum.
I'll slap. No, what it is you're just gonna take the Joy-Cons and just fucking act like you're playing a drum like that. But I'd play the shit out of a new Donkey Konga. Like no bullshit whatsoever.
100%, 100%.
Fuck
Bring
yeah,
it
dude, that'd
back.
be a great party game. Speaking of party games, Super Mario Party, what now?
Jamboree.
Yeah, the biggest
20-player
Mario party game.
multiplayer.
20. So it's basically like
Mario Kart, but Mario Party.
It's like It's like Mario Party Battle Royale. This game is gonna fucking end marriages. But Mario Party games always do. Like I do feel like over the past several years we've had just an absolute plethora of Mario Party games.
Good.
What's that, Brett?
I said good.
Is this going to be out in time for the fundraiser this
I was
year?
just about to ask, when does it come out?
Yes,
When?
we checked that. Hold on, but the Mario Party Jamboree is coming out
October
I want to say
17th.
October.
October
So
17th.
it'll be there. Yep.
That's the Mario game that was coming out in October. I mixed it in Mario and Luigi.
Was it like
up.
110 mini games or some shit? Like
Probably.
Yep, 110 mini games.
110, yep.
A Koopa-thlon mode. A Koopa-thlon. Oh, Koopathlon.
the
Koopathlon
Koopathlon.
mode.
And-
That supports over 20 players.
How many times do you think Justin's going to roll ones?
Every single time.
Every single time I lose. I've never won a Mario Party game with y'all.
Britt,
I even played with
I've
Finn.
won all of them.
Yeah, I've even like when we were on a team together and I was really high. I couldn't
Yeah,
do it.
I still won. I carried us through all of the team games.
Wait, did we win?
I won.
you both. If
we
you were
weren't-
on a team, you both won, Finn.
No, certain mini games.
Made us.
Yeah, we got partnered up,
Britt,
and we
Britt,
would
what
win
Finn
those.
is
I would
saying is
carry
that
her
he
through
carried
them.
Your ass. That's what Finn
Yes.
is saying.
That's 100% true. And
Finn, Jesus.
and I was like,
you know what? I'm not a hater. I'm not a.
I'm not a hater either. It was a fun time. You were hilarious. You just were not
I'm
on
sorry.
your A game.
You're just high as fuck.
It wouldn't have mattered. I still would have lost.
One of my favorite memories of all time is going to be Justin just rolling ones over and over and over, and just the despair
The slow descend into just fucking
sadness and madness.
defeat.
It actually physically affected him. He was like, I feel sick after I went back and I watched that clip, and it literally made him feel sick after like the eighth.
Even Bowser feels bad for me.
He gave me coins. But yeah, so I want to talk about one of the hypest fucking announcements of this entire direct. And no, we're not getting to Dragon Quest yet. I don't think anybody saw a fucking Marvel vs. Capcom collection in the fucking cards, but we got it. And holy shit, am I fucking excited, because these are some of the best fucking fighting games and beat 'em ups ever made. And we're getting 7 of them. And I can't imagine the fucking legal wrangling that it took between Marvel and Capcom to get these games released in a collection. Because they were all yanked from storefronts, from digital storefronts, due to licensing issues. It's the reason that we haven't seen NBA Jam get re-released, right? Because there's just too many licenses.
Is it fucking Disney?
But we're getting like X-Men. Has anybody else? I know Finn has, but Britt and Cam, have you played X-Men: Children of the Atom?
No, I have not.
No. That's a game?
It's the original.
Yeah, it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Wait,
And,
okay, say it again.
Is this the one that was on the SNES?
It was in arcades. I don't know if it was on the.
Yeah, no, it
SNES.
was an arcade one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Children
John,
of the
you're-
Atom.
John, Children of the Atom is not a side-scrolling beat 'em
Oh no,
up.
no, no!
You
I'm
were-
sorry. I'm thinking of the X-Men fight. But no, Children. Yeah.
Children of the
I
Atom
did
is
play
the
the X-Men.
original
The original fighting game.
that Capcom made, and then they started doing the crossovers.
X-Men
But
versus
this was
Street
their
Fighter.
first one.
Then you had
Yeah.
X-Men versus Street
X-Men.
Fighter. Then you had Marvel versus Capcom. Right.
I've played the X-Men beat 'em up. I've played the X-Men.
Yeah, I did
Marvel
that.
versus Capcom 2 is one of the greatest fucking games ever made.
Yeah.
That game, that shit is so. I can't. We're getting a Punisher side scroller that never released here. It never came out here.
I will say, as not a fighting person. Like I'm just dog shit at it. I can't do all those combos. I can't remember that.
Wombo combo.
Yeah, I just press buttons and hope I win. It was super exciting for the fighting game community because I know
Yeah.
this has been something they've wanted for a long time. So even if it's not my jam, it was really cool to see how excited everybody else got.
I gotta tell
Watching
you,
Maximilian Dude's
Yes,
reaction.
Yeah,
that's who
that
I
was-
was thinking of.
that was great.
Oh, so pure.
That was great. Like fucking
He's such a great streamer too.
Bobo4750 in chat said Capcom is killing it with the collections. They really are. Like,
Yeah.
Capcom is I think like objectively that is not a real thing, but like I just putting my bias aside, I think Capcom is literally like the best developer in video games. Like
I think
for
you might be
the
right.
past,
Like, I don't know if I
5 years.
disagree.
I
with
wouldn't
that.
argue that.
Like, if we're
'Cause, like,
talking pure quality, like consistent quality.
Yeah, brought Monster Hunter to the mainstream. Like started the remake movement with RE2 remake. All Ace Attorney games are now on like modern platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've been doing like Street Fighter 6, like all these collections. It's like they haven't missed. Like
Well,
Well,
they haven't-
I will say there's one miss, and that game is Resident Evil 6. And
Yeah,
that was
game
a
is
long
great.
time
But that
ago.
was-
a long time
Resident
ago.
Evil
Before
6
the
was
Capcom
before the
Renaissance.
Capcom Renaissance. Exactly. Like
Yeah.
Capcom
Yeah,
right now not
yeah.
only is killing it, but they're also the poster child for how to reverse course and fix themselves. Like the
Oh, 100%.
360 PS3 era
100%.
was
Yeah,
rough.
I wouldn't argue with
I'm
that.
not gonna
them.
lie. Like, I would say 40% of my Resident Evil 6 playtime was just me hitting the emote button with Leon and watching him go, appreciate it,
Appreciate.
appreciate it, appreciate it.
Oh god,
Nice.
that game.
The only thing they need to
Nice.
do
And then
now,
every now and then Helena would go, no problem.
the only thing they need to do now at this point is to port Asura's Wrath, and then we're good. That's all we need.
No.
We need a
Cam.
Port of Asura's Wrath and we need a new Power Stone.
We need a Power Stone collection, which was on the Capcom leak, by the way. So we know
A
what's
Power
in
Stone
there.
collection. You mean on the PSP that I already own because I'm a true gamer?
And
Okay.
also, Finn,
It was on
we need-
Dreamcast too.
we
That's how I
need
played it.
A fucking Breath of Fire 3 and 4 release.
Oh, actually, that's
Oh,
no.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, let me reset back.
Come
Port
on.
all of the Breath of the Fire games. Port all Breath of Fire games, and then we need a new Breath of Fire.
We
That's what
really
we
We
fucking
do.
do.
We need to do real Breath of Fire.
Not that.
But
fucking
John, you're
mobile-
gonna get Dragon Quarter
Yeah,
HD.
not that mobile game
Not that
bullshit.
mobile. Breath of Fire 6 technically exists, but it was mobile
Yes.
garbage.
Yeah, it was not what we wanted.
Breath of Fire 3 particularly is one of the greatest RPGs ever made, and I can't fucking believe it has not seen a rematch. Like, especially as prolific and fruitful as Capcom has become with
I've
all
never
of their
played
collection. Oh,
A single
Britt.
Breath of Fire game.
Oh, Britt. They're fucking good. Like Breath of Fire
That's
3,
all. I only hear praises.
Breath of Fire
I just haven't
4
had an opportunity to
might
play it.
be some of
on-
the best to this day, the best pixel art animation I've ever seen. It is
Have
just an
you-
stunningly
Jo-
gorgeous game.
John, it's semi-related. Have you seen the indie game that's been announced, Forge of the Fae? That's like-
No.
It's like inspired by Breath of Fire.
I'll have to
like,
look it up now
art style.
because
And I played it. I played it at PAX East this year, and it is really good. It
I'll
was
have to
really
look it
good.
up. I'll have to look it up now because
What's it called?
Forge of the Fae.
Fang.
Fae.
Yeah,
Fae.
Fae. Forge of the Fae.
AE.
Yeah, like I am a massive
Interesting.
Breath of Fire fan. So it
Never heard of
it's-
it.
It's time for Breath of Fire, and it's time
Oh
for the
shit!
fucking-
Just looking at it. Yeah.
It's time for the fucking Mega Man Legends collection. Like, come on, guys, what are you waiting on? But I'm not going to talk about what I want from Capcom.
That looks so cute.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Capcom, we're getting another collection from Capcom, and it is the Ace Attorney Investigations 1 and 2 games.
Oh my god,
Um,
I think this might have been one of my hypest because
I
knew-
love
I knew
Miles
it would be
Edgeworth
for you, yeah.
investigations,
Yeah.
and I was crushed when they announced like a decade or so ago that they were never bringing Part 2 to America. I was like, fuck. why?
Zach
was-
is so excited.
So I started Ace Attorney this year. I played the first one. I'm
Oh,
partway
they're
through
great.
Justice for All. Yeah, the first one. I'm like, dude, this is fucking amazing. I like. It was just like, I'm mad. I waited this long to play these games, and so like I took a break. I'm like halfway through Justice for All right now. And I'm like dead set on like I'm gonna play all these games within like 12 months. Like I'm gonna, and I was already like preparing to like buy a copy of Investigations 1 on DS and then like emulating Investigations 2 because like with a English patch. And then when I heard like when the leak happened, I was like, please be real, please be real. So I'm super excited that those games are getting ported. That was definitely one of my favorite announcements during the entire direct. So
What I
fuck yeah to
love,
that.
Cam, is that you can switch back to the original pixel art if you like that,
Yeah.
which I'm gonna fucking do because you guys know me in pixels.
Yeah.
So I that is something that I wish the like the Ace Attorney 1 through 3 remastered collection had kind of hewn to, was let me go back because I like those crunchy pixels. What can I say? It's what I grew up with. But I never played Investigations 1, Finn, and obviously none of us have played Investigations 2 unless you downloaded a translation patch. So I am very excited for these games to come over. Finally, especially like finally.
It was funny seeing people react to Capcom's official localization names of some of these characters because like the community was so dead set on like these names for like 10 years now, and then it's just like completely different and they're like worse versions of what they used to be.
That
And
sounds about
people
right.
are just, like, people are so upset. It's really funny. It's funny to see as someone who's like not that deep in the trench of Ace Attorney, but still likes it. So yeah, I thought it was really really funny.
All right,
You know what
guys,
game I'm really excited for?
let's hear it, Britt.
What?
It is this new Zelda game.
So that was what I was going to talk about next, actually. The Legend of Zelda: Eclipse of Time.
No, it's something of
What?
wisdom.
Echoes of Wisdom.
Echoes of-
homie.
Echoes of Wisdom.
There we
I'm sorry.
go.
Clips of time.
Yes.
Where'd you get that from?
I don't know. I'm fucking tired. Hey, look, you know what? It was an E word, okay? So I got partially. I take credit for it.
I mean,
yeah,
sure.
So we had heard rumors about a new 2D Zelda or a remake of a 2D Zelda for some time now. And I mean, obviously, when this first fired up, it was like, okay, well, this is clearly a Grezzo Zelda, right? Like you could absolutely tell. What's interesting was that Link was wearing the Breath of the Wild cape, which I thought was cool. But we quickly found out that this is actually a Zelda game starring Zelda. So what would have been great if they'd
100%
called
my
it
shit.
The Legend of Link.
Like,
Yeah.
It's such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so my whole thing is like I wasn't a Breath of the Wild fan, so to me, I'm just excited to get a new
Same.
Zelda game that's not Breath of the Wild. So when I saw
Same.
that, I was like, yes, I'm here for it. I feel like I haven't been a Zelda
Same.
fan in like
That's
fucking
what
10 years.
That's what I tweeted. I was like, it's so good to be excited about a Zelda game because the new version is just not for me, and I get that's fine. That
Yeah.
happens sometimes,
Mhm.
but it's so cool that I can be.
Yeah.
Again,
No.
Yeah.
it's gonna be awesome.
100%.
I haven't played Link's Awakening yet, and it's been on like the top of kind of like my my streaming backlog for a while now.
Yeah, that's me. Princess Peach.
And I'm really looking forward to playing that, and then playing this new one because I've never been a big Zelda person. Like
fine.
I didn't really grow up with Zelda in a real way. I would see people play like Ocarina and like Majora's Mask, but I never really like looked into it in a way that I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like I'm really interested in this.
Yeah.
So like outside of Wind Waker and like Four Swords, which my mom got me on my Game Boy Advance, I
That game was
never
really fun.
I never really have played much Zelda until Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So I'm excited that like there are some new games coming out that like I'll be able to play and have a good time with.
You know, I think this new Zelda game looks absolutely fucking delightful. Like, did you guys see how massive that world looks? Like when Zelda's walking out on the cliff, and you kind of get
Yeah.
that panoramic view of Hyrule. Like, this is going to be a massive, massive game, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad that they didn't just stick a sword in Zelda's hand and be like, "You're Link now." Like you're doing all Link shit. Like I love that they're giving Zelda her own identity.
She's a woodworker.
Yeah, and she's a woodworker, and I love that she has, you know, I love that she's got like a little fairy with her the entire time, which I think is really cool. And it looks like this almost looks like a Pokemon game in some ways. Like you're capturing enemies and commanding them to do things, and like she's got moblins following her around, and this was honestly this simply because nobody saw it coming. This to me was the best surprise of the direct because I'm a massive Zelda fan, and playing as Zelda is something that I think most Zelda fans have wanted for some time now. And plus I think Grezzo really gets what makes a good 2D Zelda. Because I'll be honest, I don't know about you guys, but I was expecting like remakes of Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, right?
That was the rumor for a while.
Which would be great. I'll still take those, but I think like this is more exciting for me because it's something new. I could go play Oracle of Ages and Seasons right now if I want. They hold up. They're still great. But this is something new, and there's a gameplay loop here that is completely completely new to a 2D Zelda game, which really excites me. Plus, it finally is the Legend of Zelda. Like you're playing as the legend.
That's what I was just about to say. Like earlier with Donkey Kong, I think Zelda became super fucking popular when Breath of the Wild came out, and like she was a huge part of the story. I think they were like, oh, people actually like this girl. We should make a game about her.
Yeah. And it's also going to sell 1 billion copies. People have been starved for a new 2D Zelda. The last new 2D Zelda, and I'm not counting the Link's Awakening remake because it's a remake. The last new 2D Zelda was, I want to say Link Between Worlds.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that came out in 2010?
2011, 2010. Yeah,
so it's been it's been 12.
Actually, no. I think it's more like 2013. I feel like because I was in college when it came out. I was in college.
I mean, regardless, it's been over a fucking decade since.
No, for sure, it's been a while.
Zelda, way too long, and so I'm sorry, I don't count Spirit Tracks. Sorry, like that game sucked. So, like
2013.
Yeah, so it's been.
Was that the music game?
No, that's the one where you're on the train.
You're on the train the whole time.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's very linear. It's just kind of taking you places.
The one I hated was the one that you had to go through the maze like every time you got a piece, and it was like timed, and you had to go through it. It was I didn't like it. I don't even remember what it's called.
Phantom.
Yes.
Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah, I hated that.
Phantom Hourglass. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that one either. But yeah, this new 2D Zelda looks great, and I hope that. I'm sure it's going to sell great, and I hope that Grezzo moves on to do more 2D Zelda stuff because I really feel like they found their niche here with 2D Zelda. Like I just want to preface it by saying I hope it runs a little better than Link's Awakening did. Link's Awakening.
Yeah, I heard about that. It was a little
it won't.
rough.
Have you seen Pokemon?
I mean, probably not. But the thing is that Link's Awakening runs at 60 frames a second most of the time, but it has like consistent frame pacing
hiccups
errors. Yeah, that really hurt it. So hopefully they have fine-tuned their craft a little bit and we get a nice smooth 2D experience. Speaking of Zelda, we had some NSO releases, and I'm very excited about this because you can now play Four Swords Adventure online with friends. So people will actually be able to play Four Swords Adventure the way it was fucking intended, because playing that shit with your friends was near impossible. Like you all had to have Game Boys. You all needed to have copies of the game, and you needed a GBA link cable. It was a fucking nightmare.
Those fucking cables.
It was a fucking nightmare. But now you can just play it online, which is something that I think honestly Britt and Finn would make an excellent fucking stream.
That'd be fun.
Playing Four
Sounds
Sword
good.
Adventure.
So we have 20 minutes left, and we haven't talked about the big two.
Let's talk about the big two.
One quick thing I want to say before we move on is that before the Zelda thing was announced, I was thinking like, oh, who's developing Brothership? I thought it was Grezzo. I was like, oh, it's probably Grezzo.
That's what I thought too.
And then yeah, that wasn't announced, and I was like, oh well, never mind.
All right, guys, let's talk about the big one. One of the two big ones, the Mature Collection on NSO. I'm just kidding. Although
Hello Kitty Friend Island.
Although I think the Mature Collection on NSO is just unironically funny. Like the Nintendo, it's like Nintendo After Hours, like adults only in here. Cam,
Yes.
I am insanely jealous of you
Yes.
because you have played Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake and I have not, and I don't know if I'm ever going to forgive you for that until it comes out.
It's not my fault.
It
is your fault.
Looks utterly stunning. Does it look as stunning in person, Cam, as it does on online?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good, John. Let me tell you. Like, out of everything that I saw, SGF or otherwise, like while I was in LA, this was my favorite thing that I saw.
Cam.
And like I obviously, like, I'm super hyped for Metaphor. That's probably gonna be, like, I expect that to be my game of the year by the end of the year, based off what I played, what I've seen, all that stuff. But this was just such a, because for those that don't know, I recently started playing through all the Dragon Quest games, the mainline games, and I just finished 3 back like 2 months ago. So very fresh in my mind. Very fresh in my mind. And so when I got to play it, I just couldn't help but smile like the entire way through. I was cheesing, like the re-recorded music done by the Tokyo Symphony Orchestra, and like visually, in my opinion, the best like look of the HD 2D that we have seen. Just like the way that they were able to revamp, because there was like the original Dragon Quest games on the NES, and then they did the ports on the DS, and then that felt like a refresh, right? Of like, this is kind of like what Dragon Quest is in the late 2000s, and this feels like the new modern. Like, I need every like 2D Dragon Quest game to be remade just like this. It's that amazing. Where when you're doing the menu, like the menu and battle, you're seeing behind the party, and then when the actual attacks are happening, it goes all front facing. You only see the enemies
thing.
Yes, and then what's really cool is it's voice acted, which is really cool in battle. So you don't like hear words per se, but you see you hear you hear the
grunts.
Yeah, the grunts and stuff, and it makes it just feel so much more like the charm is just so intoxicating. And when you cast like spells, instead of them just kind of appearing in front of the enemy, they actually like fly from the bottom of the screen to the enemy, like based on whoever is casting the spell is. So like, just like in the original, you have like your warrior, you have your mage, and you have your sage or your priest or whatever. And so really it was just the hero and the mage during my demo that was able to cast spells at enemies. So when they were casting like Frizz, you just see the fireball just like fly, and like on the far left, or like kind of like the right middle side of the screen, because that's where they were placed, going at the enemies. And the animations, like when the enemies die and things like that, it was just like, it's all so good. It's so good. Towns are much bigger and more realized. It's great.
See, this is the kind of shit I loved. Like, I've never played a Dragon Quest game, but I love how passionate its fandom is, and I love I love hearing people talk about like the games they love. So, Cam, that was a super enjoyment for me. I loved that. But I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think? So it's obviously going to sell good, but do you think it will sell more because of Toriyama's death or not?
Because of Toriyama's death. I mean, I don't think. I think at this point, right? Because it's been such a long running thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna sell regardless. Like Toriyama's
Mhm.
death, I don't think it's going to affect it.
Especially in
Particularly,
Japan. Like Dragon Quest is massive in Japan.
it's a holiday. It's literally a holiday in
Yeah.
Japan where like people take time off work to play Dragon Quest. Like, it's such a cultural phenomenon there, and I think that this game I think this will possibly be the best selling Dragon Quest game ever, simply in the sense of like, while it is the third game, and this really, I'm not gonna say the specifics, but this is like a prequel. This is like the beginning of
the
the trilogy,
yeah.
of the Erdrick trilogy. And so playing with 3 isn't going to be like, oh, I gotta wait for 1 and 2 to come out. You don't need to play it like that. You can start with 3 and then play 1 and 2 as they're gonna come out next year.
Well, I was gonna say you'll get your chance next year.
Yeah, and it's just like
When does it come out?
2025. Or are you talking about 3?
No, the
1 and 2
collection.
next year.
1 and 2 is next year. Yeah.
Yeah. 2025.
So it's a great place to, like, if you've never played Dragon Quest before, to hop in, play the first, play 3, play 1 and 2 when they come out to get like the full story, and potentially just fall in love with the whole series as a whole, right? Like, I think that Dragon Quest 11, it took a bit, but I think Dragon Quest 11 made Dragon Quest a little bit, a little bit more prominent, a little bit
I'd
more
say so. 100%.
mainstream. But I think that this is going to be the game that's really, it's going to have its persona moment where like it's now like really in people's faces, and people are really going to like really look forward to playing more Dragon Quest, going back to 11, looking forward to 12 when 12 eventually comes out, in a way that I don't think in the West the mainstream has as much, if that makes sense.
What I really love about the attention to detail for Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D is like, it's a weird thing, but I was like, man, I really hope they keep the whole, like, if one of your party members is dead, they're just a coffin on the world map following you around.
What?
And they fucking did.
Yeah.
So I'm in. Where do I buy this?
Okay,
Brit, if one of your party members is dead, when you're walking around on the world map, it's just a fucking coffin following you around.
That's so
Yeah.
incredible.
I love that they keep all those little things that they've done since the beginning and haven't tried to like do away with them. I love it.
That's what I was when I was talking with Charlie Wackles about it. Like, that's the thing that I think that is really great about Dragon Quest as a whole, is just that it's basically the father of JRPGs, right, as we know them today. And they, like, the vast majority, if not everything that they have done since the beginning of Dragon Quest, they still do today, and it's still relative, and it's still its own thing, and it still makes it, and it's like what makes it stand out, on top of, like, of course, Akira Toriyama's like incredible art design and character design and all those things, but like there's other things too about it that make it stand out with charisma.
Well, and it's also important to note that surprise to most people was not a surprise to Finn and I, because we both knew about the Time to Come Clean. Finn and I both knew about 1 and 2. But Brit's fuck. Look at Brit's background.
I love it.
Fucking no, but the collection 1 and 2 are also getting the HD 2D treatment sometime next year. If I was a betting man, I would bet they're probably going to come around the same time as 3 is next year. But
Really, you think it's gonna take that long?
Yeah, like, so real quick, I wanna point out something to Paris in chat there. So one, dude, go to the fucking gym, get that, like, dude, I've got a fucking Cobra hood for traps. Okay, you ain't got shit. All right. Also, learn how to fucking make some ribs, dude. Like, I haven't even had Khalif's cooking, and I can already tell his is better. I can already tell Kaz's, but Ka can cook, dude. Paris can't
Finn and
kill.
I are just like, get him.
Wait, what the
Don't
fuck-
worry,
wait,
we're
what the
Team
fuck is
Paris
this
here.
shit? What is this fucking mutinous bullshit here?
You
Also, by the way, Paris, push-ups work your pectorals, not your arms. You'd fucking knew that if you went to the gym. Okay, but you clearly don't know that. That being said, I love you, Paris. Most of the time, I love you more if you went to the gym and got as big as I am. But it is nice to see Paris in here. But no, Dragon Quest 102 HD 2D remake. I am very excited. I am very excited for. We're gonna get the whole. You know what? I would be stunned. I would be very surprised if 4 through 6 don't eventually get the treatment as well.
I think by assuming that like the next generation of consoles, including the Switch 2, are like backwards compatible, I like expect every Dragon Quest game, like 3D or otherwise, to be playable on
I
modern
think
consoles.
you're probably right about that.
Outside
You're
of
right
10.
about that.
I hope we get 10 offline with the English localization, but
I'm not holding my breath on that one, Cam.
yeah, I'm not. No, it's like when I get to 10 or when I finish like 11 or whatever, and all I need to do is 10, I'm gonna just like find a fan translation patch and play through DQ10. Like I gotta play it. I gotta know what's up.
I can't believe we haven't gotten 10 in some legit capacity yet.
Dragon Quest 10 is to me what Shining Force 3 Part 2 is to Finn. Like it's just that white fucking whale that I know, Finn, I know. I'm sorry to bring it up. But so
Speaking of games I've also never played. No, I'm just kidding.
guys, we got one more. We got one more game to talk about. We finally fucking saw it. We finally saw Samus return in Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Can't believe they made Metroid woke.
We all fucking expected it to be here. This was the direct where everybody's like, okay, it's now or never. It's got to happen now, and it happened. And it was gorgeous. It looks great, guys. It's running on a Switch. Please stop. Like it's running on a Switch. Oh, you don't know how many. Oh, this has got to be running on a Switch too. No, guys, it's running on a Switch. Everybody fucking calm down, okay? Have you played Metroid Prime Remastered? It's fucking beautiful.
I don't know because Breath of the Wild came out on both the Wii U and then it came out on.
No, for sure. No, what I'm saying is that footage was on a Switch. Like it wasn't. Running on a Switch,
okay, I get you.
I'm not convinced by that. I'm really not. I think I do think it was on a Switch too.
Here's
I
the
think
thing.
it's gonna be a cross-gen game. I think it's gonna be a cross-gen game. So why not show it at its best, right? Like if you're gonna do a cross-gen game, say like, oh, this is this, and they don't mention that's on Switch 2 hardware or whatever. What
I will say is one Samus's gunship kicks ass.
Yes.
I fucking love the look of the gunship. Her jumping out and it slowly panning around and going into her visor is a great callback to the reveal of the original Metroid Prime, which blew everyone's mind at the time. So here's what's funny. If you didn't play Metroid Prime Hunters, which me and Finn and maybe 5 other people did, like you know who Sylix is, right? Nobody else knows who Sylix is. And Sylix is very clearly the villain of the piece. So they're wrapping up a cliffhanger. That's what? How old at this point, Finn? How old is that cliffhanger with Sylix now?
Fuck, like it's over a decade, right?
Oh, dude, it's longer than that. Like maybe 15 years. Like it's been some fucking time. But
before I joined, you and Derek were having one of your morning streams. And there was a direct coming on, and you guys were gonna watch it together. Years. And you were like Metroid. You've been saying you said Metroid for every direct, everyone, and then you just gave up. You just gave up.
I was like, fuck
you were defeated. But that was like your thing. Your Suikoden.
I was like, fucking, I'm done. I'm not gonna let Nintendo do this to me anymore.
Well, it's like fans of Hollow Knight.
Oh, you know, like break out the clown makeup on that one. So, Britt, Metroid Prime Hunters came out in 2006. So this is continuing a storyline, a cliffhanger that we saw in 2006. It's now 2024. So we're finally gonna get some resolution to a major cliffhanger from Metroid Prime Hunters. I thought the game looks fucking gorgeous. I won't lie, I was expecting it to come out this winter.
That was the surprise to me, is not even a confirmed like window of time, just 2025.
Right, and Finn, it sounds like you were expecting the same thing, right? Like Winter.
I was. I
2024?
think
Right.
the vibe was that they said that this is the announcement for all of our games to close out 2024, because we all expect
Yep.
the next system to dominate 2025. So like, but then we got Zelda, so that's cool. But yeah, I was expecting it to be their big holiday title.
Which we still don't know what that is yet, right?
It's Zelda.
Now what?
September.
September's not really the holiday season though. Like they usually drop
The
something
start
in
of it.
November.
Yeah,
But
Mario Brothership.
yeah, I guess maybe yeah. But
That's their first party title for November. I'm just saying, like,
what I
it
will
is what it
say,
is.
what I will say is I didn't like. It was a very vertical slice of gameplay. It looks fantastic. It looks like Metroid Prime, right? Like I didn't see. You like obviously it's got to do something to set itself apart from Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3, because the wait has been so long. And Retro Studios has been cooking this for years now. So there's got to be something that sets it apart from the original 3 games. We just don't know what that is yet, because right now it just looks like Metroid Prime, which is great. But I am kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, and kind of like waiting to learn what is, you know, like what is the big hook behind Metroid Prime 4? What sets this apart? What's the new gameplay loop that we're going to see here? Now, the trailer opened with like a pitched battle, which we don't see in Metroid very often. So I have a feeling that this is going to be kind of like Corruption, in that it's going to be a little more story driven than we're used to from a Metroid Prime game, from a Metroid game in general, because Metroid games are known for their sense of, like, you know, solitude, right? So I you know, that being said, I'm just glad that we finally fucking saw it. Like I'm just glad that we have a subtitle, we've got a release year, and that right now that's good enough for me, because the rest of the year is so packed with shit. Like, you know, Cam, you mentioned before we went live that, you know, like, you know, JRPG fans are fucking eating like kings this year, eating like kings and queens, and we really are. So I'm actually not too nonplussed about a 2025 release date for Metroid Prime 4, because there's so much fucking shit coming out this year
Mhm.
that I now what I
All
will
you
say,
needed was the date, and then
yeah.
you know, you can wait.
Now
You can wait until then. You have
what
a
I
date. You're content.
what I will say, Britt, is that I was surprised, and Cam and Finn, you guys tell me if you kind of felt the same, but I was surprised that we did not see Metroid Prime 2 Echoes remastered.
That's what I
Yeah,
was gonna
2
say.
and 3
I
would
feel like
be.
those games need to be ported as
Yeah.
well. I don't know if, like, because it could be. Here's the thing. I would not be surprised if Metroid Prime 4 is like one of their holiday games for next year.
That would
Like
not
if it's
surprise me
if
either.
it's if it's in the back half of 2025, and then during the what you call it, the Switch 2 presentation, and we kind of get the roundup of like what's coming out in the beginning, I could see Prime 2 and 3 being launch titles. Um and they're cross gen, right? And it's
Right.
just like, oh, yep,
Well,
Prime,
see, what I was
or just do
expecting.
or just do like a Prime trilogy and be like, hey, you can get all 3 of them on Switch 2. Like, remastered 1 is basically just a port, but like still you can get them all like on one cartridge or something like that. Like,
What
I could see something like that too.
what really surprised me was, like, look, before Metroid Prime HD literally fucking shadow dropped, I would have told you, no, there's no way they're ever going to shadow drop something like Metroid Prime anything. That's just not going to happen. But they fucking blew everyone's mind and actually did that shit last year. So I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting them to be like, oh, and by the way, here's Metroid Prime 2 Echoes HD available today on the eShop.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting to see, and I was very surprised that we didn't get it. I have no doubt that it's going to happen, but I do feel like this would have been a good time to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, Prime Remastered, the demand was
Oh, dude,
crazy
it sold
when that.
gangbusters. Like, yeah,
Yeah, for sure. And they did that same kind of thing again with Pikmin 1 and 2, right? They were like, hey, Pikmin 1 and 2 is on Switch now, starting today, and there's going to be a physical release later. And I think that like kind of business technique that they've been doing has done really well for them. So I was kind of going into this being like expecting it to be Metroid Prime 2 and 3, but like just like doing it with something, right? Like, hey, this game, this first party thing, it's out now, physical release coming later, yada yada yada.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a bit of a surprise as well. There was real quick a couple other things that I kind of thought might be at this direct and weren't. One of those was like maybe a new system on NSO. We got some new games which are great, but I was kind of maybe expecting like either TurboGrafx 16 or like GameCube or like Dreamcast or something. Like I was expecting a little bit more from NSO.
That just reminded me of Strong Bad.
Strong Bad. There's a fucking name I haven't heard in a long time.
Teen Girl Squad.
I like where I'm sorry to harp on it, but where is Suikoden, guys? Like this was the time to fucking bring that shit back, and it just wasn't there.
Good night, everybody.
Man, just let me be sad. I was, here's something that I kind of was hoping.
I'm telling you, it's the new Metroid.
It really fucking is. I was kind of hoping, half expecting to see a Castlevania DS collection.
I think it's too soon.
You think so?
Yeah. Because I mean, like it for the original, the anniversary to the advance was like what 3 years, or something like that. I think that the DS, and especially with the DS, they're gonna have to rework stuff
they would have
to make it work on.
Heavily rework that shit. Yeah,
I think it's gonna take more time, but I definitely think it's coming.
A lot of people.
So.
Go ahead, Britt.
No, I was gonna say that's a game series I have played, but only Lament of Innocence, and that game was dog shit. It was so bad.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
Not great.
Over
it
time,
was so stupid.
Those games are like, I think in general that series is still primarily pretty good, but then it just has some stinkers every once in a while.
It does. And like it's just unfortunate that was my first introduction to the series, because I remember I specifically asked for it for Christmas because I was like, this looks great. Everybody loves Castlevania. Pop it in, and they're like, huh. Yeah. I need some wolf boots. Like, where do I get these wolf boots?
Another couple of things I was expecting to see and they weren't there was an F-Zero remaster, specifically the one on GameCube, which was extremely popular, one of the best looking games in the system. And with as popular as F-Zero 99 is, I feel like this would have been a good time to do that. So I don't think we're going to, if it wasn't here, I don't think it's going to happen. And I was also a little disappointed that we didn't see anything at all related to a new 2D Sonic. I kind of thought this might be a good place for...
Yeah, give me the Chow game again. That one was fun.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do that until Shadow's out. I don't think they want to
Shadow Generations.
I got one more for you. I was really hoping to see like Diddy Kong Racing on the Nintendo on the eShop, like on NSO.
We know that hasn't aged well. We know that hasn't
but that's part of the charm,
well.
though. That's part of the charm, though. I think.
Yeah, the one game that I really wish or expected to be there that wasn't was Deca Police. I am super.
It's been a while.
Super stoked for that game. Everything I've seen of it looks really, really cool. It's a new IP from Level 5. Ni no Kuni, still one of the most original Japanese JRPG IPs we've gotten in the past 15 years. So I was really looking forward to that, and it was supposed to come out It was December of last year. That was supposed to come out, and then we just heard nothing.
Cam, I was actually kind of expecting to see the new Professor Layton there, and it wasn't. There was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, that'll probably be a cross-gen game. I wouldn't be surprised if that's just something else that that'll come later. I think a lot of the games that were announced in the past 2 directs that don't have any sort of timeline, you should just expect it to be cross-gen or Switch 2 game. Yeah,
I agree. All right, guys. Well, we are a few minutes past our closing time here, so we will go ahead and wrap it up. Again, I apologize for the lack of text on the the broadcast today, but everything was spelled backwards for me on OBS, and I have no idea why. So Derek will be back next week anyway, so he'll write the shit. But
He should have popped in on his little beach
he's
vacay.
on vacation, Britt. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
ask
he
him to
can
do
pop
that.
in. This isn't a job.
I'm
What do
not-
you mean?
I'm not gonna. Britt, I don't know why, but that face behind you is extremely fucking funny.
Oh, what? Willem Dafoe? Hell yeah!
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Let's go.
He holds a special place in my heart because of our Christmas party
that was still
or
that,
holiday party. I'm
that
sorry.
was our holiday party. That was I love our holiday parties. We'll be doing another one this year. All right, guys. Well, Cam, dude, thanks for talking about Dragon Quest 3 with us, man. Like I'm so fucking excited for this shit.
Oh, can't wait. Cannot wait.
I am afraid you're fucking me up. PAX West looming in a couple months. I'll be there. So, if you want to see me or if you want to come give me a hug or something, please do that. If you want to fight me, please come do that too. I get people trying to do it every year and nobody ever follows through. So maybe this year that legendary Street Fighter will find me and I don't know, deliver the final owning of me or something. But Cam, where can people find you if they want to find you, which they should?
You can find me at Cam Final Mix on Twitter.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, take care of each other. I had a lot of fun tonight. Very, very excited about what's coming this holiday.
Good pod.
I'm sorry, Britt's fuck. That look on Willem Dafoe's face is just like I don't even know how to just like. He looks like he just cut a loud fart in an elevator, and he doesn't really he's like oh I can't let anyone know it was me.
He single-handedly carried the last Spider-Man movie.
I mean, the last Spider-Man movie was a great. Period.
I would not say that, but
I mean, come on, Britt.
Listen.
Yeah, I'm with
Willem
Cam on this
Dafoe.
one.
like
But,
King Toby came back. King
Toby?
Alfred Molina came back. Like
You know what? You're right. Doc
Toby's
Ock
the
is
best
my favorite.
live action
Doc Ock is
Spider-Man.
my
I'm
favorite.
sorry.
Yeah, no.
Toby's
Doc
my
Ock is my
favorite live
favorite.
action Peter Parker.
That's fair. But like, I mean, come on now. Like, here's the thing. Like,
Here's the thing. I thought
Because
Andrew Garfield was a great Spider-Man and a terrible
Yes.
Peter Parker.
yes, agreed. But I still will take Toby over all three of them for sure. Like, not even
100%.
close.
All right. Well, if we start talking about Spider-Man, I'm going to be here another 20 minutes, and I'm sleepy boy. So we're going to cut it off here. Take care of each other, and we'll be back next week. Remember, kindness costs nothing. See you later.
Bye.